Hello YouTube, my name is Nahum Niktu, and I'm going to talk to you about WWE 2K24, The My Rise, and as well as also how I'm not really a typical wrestling fan, but I am a wrestling fan, but I'll get into it. First, let's get into the My Rise game. There's two different playthroughs that you can go through. You can do the female or the male, and each one you could be either a good guy or a bad guy. It doesn't really change the story. You're just kind of the dialogue. I do want to talk about the guy first because that is the worst one. All he does is talk about how no one respects him and he doesn't get the flowers he deserves. And though it is like, yeah, I get it. It gets kind of annoying that that's just how you are the whole playthrough. You just keep doing fights to prove that you are the greatest of all time and in the world and all that. And I'll show you a quick scene of what I'm talking about right here.
That is the kind of cryptic answer that makes me uneasy. And when I'm uneasy, I get on edge. And when I'm on edge, that makes me want to go out there and create some chaos. Do you want me to create some chaos, Troy?
Yes! That's exactly the kind of programming we want during sweeps. So head out to the ring, and we'll get to see how your chaos and Miz's big surprise play out.
Troy, I will head to the ring.
I
I
will.
don't care what Miz has up his sleeve.
Because
I'm
I
going to tell your
want
boss
to, not because
exactly
you
what I
said
think
so.
of him and his big plan for sweeps.
Great! Sounds like
Yeah, so that's kind of his whole attitude through the whole game. That's only just the beginning of it. It gets way worse the further you go. And yeah, I just didn't really like the character, but that's okay. But I did enjoy the woman's playthrough. That one follows indie promoter / wrestler, and she makes it big in the WWE. But she has a lot of interesting branches in her storyline, which I actually really enjoy. She does still have kind of the condescending attitude, but they have a whole mystical angle through hers where she gets possessed by an amulet and then she tries to help her friend, all this stuff, and it actually has such a really good vibe to it that I really enjoy it. It's probably my favorite part of the whole My Rise. Let me show you a few clips from that.
Attempt to strike here, but Asuka counters with the spin kick.
She's invoking the soul siphon.
If Cap's got her in her grasp, there's no hope for Asuka now.
Wait, is Asuka trying to fight it?
Asuka's doing more than fighting it. She's using the same power against her.
Is this really happening?
Get on board, Saxton. The real question is, who's more powerful?
And Asuka's down.
Asuka was foolish to try something that Cap has already perfected.
Does that even count as a pin? She's not even touching Asuka.
I guess it counted because it's over.
You know, that's not the spirit of the rule.
Neither is floating an opponent during a match.
Michael, back me up here.
Guys, when you've been around here as long as I have, you learn not to question these things.
Oh my, they're both down.
Is this even something medical can help with?
If I were them, I'd stay far away from whatever's happening.
You see, that one scene is better than anything the male playthrough has to offer. In the male playthrough, that's just it. You make no real friends. You don't make really any connections. But with the female playthrough, you actually have storylines that kind of mean something. Like at the end of this storyline, it's kind of her friend that gets her to not want to be evil anymore. And I'm going to show you a clip of that.
You are welcome.
I don't recall thanking you.
Sally, I have gifted you with my power.
Which I never asked for, Cap.
You refuse my help? You dare defy me?
I do! I defy you! You may be wearing your big evil hat right now, but somewhere inside you is the Cap I know. And I think she's desperate to do one good thing because she's feeling freaking guilty about what she's becoming.
I got you into the finals against Charlotte. Would you wear a crown? Would you be a queen? I wanted to help.
Help yourself. Until then, we got nothing to say to each other.
You see, there was some actual, like, tension between the characters. In the male playthrough, you just tell people how great you are, and when they're like, nuh-uh, you just beat them up, and then they're like, oh, I guess you were kind of great. There was no real friendships. There was no real issue other than the fact that people didn't respect you enough. And, as I'm showing in the background, you get to fight a demon in this playthrough when you're the woman. And there's nothing like that in the males. And that's just one of the reasons why the female playthrough is better than the male's playthrough. It also comes up to one of the reasons why I like playing wrestling games to begin with. One of the things I love is that when a wrestling character has some type of mystical gimmick in the game, they'll like actually have it. You'll do powers, you'll fight demons, you'll do all this stuff. And it actually is one of the reasons why I really, really enjoy these games. And so since I get that in the female playthrough, but not in the male playthrough, that's definitely a big, big reason why I just prefer the woman's one. And that also brings up kind of the point of how I'm not really a typical wrestling fan. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown or pay for any pay-per-views or really keep up with anything. I enjoy watching Undertaker's 6 Feet Under podcast, Maven's podcast, Cody Rhodes, What Do You Want to Talk About podcast. I also like watching documentaries of the wrestler characters, and I love following storylines, but usually when they're complete. One of the storylines that started me off on doing this was the Broken Matt Hardy, where he just went insane and got his brother to follow him and was doing the whole delete thing. That storyline was so great. And then when WWE picked it up, I was actually kind of excited about it. I was like, oh cool, they're going to be able to put more money into their characters that they made. But then they had a rights battle with the other wrestling program, which I can't remember right now, but he couldn't do the whole delete thing, and by the time they were allowed to, so much time has passed, he wasn't Broken Matt Hardy anymore. And it was very sad. But I also followed the like Bloodline storyline, and I will watch certain matches from these guys if it like involves a lot of the storyline. Like I watched the Roman Reigns versus the like Uso brothers, where he gets one and he's like beating the shit out of one, and then the other one's like begging him stop, and then he grabs him and then puts him in a sleeper hold too. It was awesome. And that was just the beginning of it, and it just kept going on, and I kept keeping up with it, but I didn't watch wrestling. That's why I say I'm not a typical wrestling fan, because I don't actually watch wrestling. I enjoy learning the behind the scenes. I do think it's like a soap opera with fighting, but I also know how it's very damaging to their body, how these stunts that they pull and these moves that they pull actually do a lot of damage to their bodies, and it gives me a lot of respect for them, because it shows how dedicated they are to their showmanship. Like, I'm sure there's some people that are like, I just want to get famous, but you still got to get your ass kicked quite often, and especially with the people who are like training you. I've watched a lot of videos of people getting trained, like Bob Holly training people and just beating the shit out of people so that they would know how much they can handle, which is very important when you try to get big anyways. And so I really like that aspect of wrestling, and I do like appreciate that they put on a performance that is undoubtedly going to injure them and put them in harm like further down the line. And there's this thing I've heard a few of the wrestlers say, which is very true. It's you get hit hard in safe places, and that's what they do. Now there's a lot of slip-ups that could damage them and injure them, paralyze them, give them brain damage, then they still put it all on the line as a performer, as someone putting their body into it. And not even that, a lot of these people have characters that they put their heart and soul into. Like, I know there's a lot of characters that people are like just doing it because the boss wants them to. But then there's some people who actually have genuine characters that they've created, that they've wanted, that they kind of want this storyline to go with. And then you have to deal with the behind the scenes politics, which is the whole like performance part as well. And so there's a lot of things that take place just to make these matches go on. And to have, what is it, 2 every week, 3 every week? It's crazy. And especially the stories I heard of the ones that I was growing up to. That's another thing that I kind of like looking back on. When I was a kid, I watched wrestling. And all the people that were on, that were just starting when I was a kid, which was, God, like over 20 years ago, I'm now watching them be full-grown adults after seeing them do crazy shit. Like Randy Orton, it's crazy seeing how much of like a big brother he's become with a lot of people, like he was with Cody Rhodes and apparently a lot of the wrestlers. And the same thing with seeing John Cena end. A lot of people had issues with this whole I'm tapping out on the thing, but I thought it was fitting. It was him tapping out of wrestling like he said he was doing. It was his last match. It was his last year. And his last fight, he gave up because he was done wrestling like he said he was. And I thought it was kind of fitting. And another thing that I see is also the wrestlers who kind of remind me of the older wrestlers, like Gunther. Gunther reminds me of William Regal. When I was younger and I watched him, I absolutely hated William Regal. But the older I got, and the more I've seen him do behind the scenes things, like knowing that he put Goldberg in a 6-minute fight during his reign brings me such joy. And I don't know, I see very much how I felt about him when I was younger, how people feel about like Gunther, and they just have the same vibes, the wrestling vibes, the ring general vibes. And Seth frickin' Rollins, he reminds me of Ric Flair so much, just the glamorous looks and the attitude. But that's about it. I don't really know if it makes me a good enough fan that I don't actually watch the wrestling, that I wait till the storylines are complete before I watch it, that I watch their behind the scenes things. I don't know if supporting them that way is the best way, but I still enjoy it, and I still give them mad respect for putting their bodies on the line, the damage that it causes, the touring stories that I hear from the interviews are always amazing, and they're definitely a different breed of people. And I think that it's just an interesting life to live, and to see their art pretty much come to fruition. And it definitely seems a lot different now. Might be getting better. Triple H is in, Vince McMahon is out, and it seems like all the storylines that Vince McMahon had going on have finally died out, and they're starting back up from scratch. Like they did the Cody Rhodes story where he finally finished his story, and I think that was kind of a storyline to help get in place the storylines that Triple H were trying to get to do. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'm really glad that you guys watched. I'm glad I could talk a little bit about wrestling. Anyone that's watching, you can leave in the comments if you agree that if I'm a good enough wrestling fan or not. I would be interested in it. Because I feel like I'm not giving them the service that they want. So maybe I'm actually looking for someone to say like, no, you're supporting them good enough. But I'm just glad that I got to talk about this. It's a weird passion that I have, which is wrestling. I really get into it, and I love listening to the wrestler story behind the scenes and during the scenes. And some of the stuff they do is pretty wild. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.